Hey, Black Titanic in the house. Y'all, let me tell y'all, I just had a great day today. I had a day today because I slept all day. But um, earlier this morning I had, hello, Black Titanic in the house. Well, early this morning I had, some workers come out here to put in a hot water heater. So, anyhow, y'all, how's everybody doing out there? I just want to start off with thanking everybody. Y'all know I'm going to thank y'all for the Cash App. Thank y'all for the subscription. Thank y'all for everything that y'all do for me. Now, some of y'all are mailing me Cash App. I don't know. You don't put no information. I don't know if it's just being downloaded or you just donated. But if you want a book, you have to specify. Make sure you go to the email that I got up and specify that you want a book. But if you just sending money in the Cash App for donation, it's good too. But I just want to make sure that you specify, that you need a book. That way I know to get the books back out to you guys. Well, we still on part 2. We still at that Atlanta wine event. Yes, we are. Martel hosts and his wine event. But first, I just want to say everything that I do is for educational and entertainment purposes and fair use. This is what I want to say. So let's get on with the program. I just really want to thank all of y'all. Y'all know when I look up and see that I got over 1,000 people watching my educational program, it makes me feel so good. I just be thinking, Lord, just let me reach one. If I could just reach one of you and know that one of you are interested in learning, I am even happier. But from 1 to 1,000, that's even better, y'all. So share the videos. Y'all got friends that y'all like, that y'all know like Black history. Share these videos. We need to learn about ourselves, right, y'all? Yeah. So we've been talking about the Olmec trial. That's what we've been talking about, the Olmec civilization. And it's just a few things I want to read to y'all about the Olmec civilization. I won't be showing any videos on them today, but I want to talk about the area so y'all understand what they mean when they say that they're finding these colossal heads in Mesoamerica. So I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to read to y'all these geographical areas where they're finding these big old colossal head. Now, according to the video and scientists, they have been around as far back as 32 BC, meaning before Christ. Now, we're going to get into that because you guys might not believe that because you haven't been taught that your DNA is older than the Bible. You haven't been taught that your DNA is older than Jesus. But we got to get into that, okay? I'm not trying to step on nobody's religious point of view. I'm just stating facts, okay? In fact, if we want to go to the Bible, it's just sort of like a history book of our ancestors. But we do know that it's been tampered with so much, that Bible, right? So we're not getting into that tonight. I'm just saying that your DNA predates the Bible. Your DNA predates Jesus. So the Olmec civilization, they're saying that they don't really know their name. but they gave it a name because of the skills that they do. They produce rubber. Olmec means rubber. They're known for their ball, and they're known for. They were playing basketball back in the day, y'all. I saw an artifact of a basketball ring, and the ball. They invented the ball to go through the ring, y'all. So we don't even know where we get certain things if we don't know where we come from. So, these guys today, they are the black men today are the number one basketball player. And I saw where they invented the basketball game, the Olmec civilization. And again, I'm going to say the Olmecs, nobody don't know their proper name, but they gave them the name Olmecs because of the rubber ball. And they're rubber people. They specialize and they sold rubber all up and down the coast. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let me read to y'all what Mesoamerica mean, okay? So we'll know the geographical area that we're talking about. Yeah. So how y'all doing out there? I hope everybody doing good. Hope it all is well. I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm grateful to know y'all. Another thing before I get started, a lot of you are concerned about me wanting me to do the what to do when you get the name. Hello, Miss Black Titanic. Oh, okay, Mean Cat. Oh, y'all. Oh, Sassy T. Hey, girl. Girl, the little cute little young lady, Sassy T. Y'all need to go visit her. She took me. Hey, Sassy T. Sassy TV from the 803. Hey, y'all know I can remember Sassy T, but I'll be trying to remember the other little stuff behind her, but now I got it right. Okay, y'all. Okay, I was trying to being monetized. Let me talk about that. Being monetized to me, I read up on it. I'm not going to be monetized, so I'm just going to depend on you guys' donation. And let me tell you why I don't want to be monetized, because of the type of material that I want to put out for you guys. Okay. I've been around long enough to know that when you putting out raw material, facts about the history of our country, what these people have done to us, they will strike it. They will strike it down. So I'm not going to get monetized, because I believe anybody that control your bread, control your money, they giving you money, that means they control what you have to say. So I'll just depend on donation for y'all so I can get the Black history out to y'all. So let me go on and find Mesoamerica in my thing. Y'all talk to each other while I'm trying to find it. Okay, Mesoamerica. I got it. Okay, they said Mesoamerica. These are where they're finding those big colossal head, our ancestors' artifacts all up and down Mesoamerica. They say it's the region that stretches from Mexico to North Honduras. And I got it. It says it extends all the way from central Mexico. That's where they found most of the heads at in central Mexico, 3 places. Now remember, y'all thinking about the Mexicans y'all know today. In fact, the Olmecs was in that area with no yellow Mexicans or brown Mexican, what y'all see today. They were black people with these noses that looked like mine, these facial features that looked like mine. In other words, had the ethnic look. That's how Mexico looked in the beginning. So let's go. They go always to Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica. So they live. They didn't just live here, they live all over Central America. Now remember, we're included because they found it wasn't America then, but it's America now. Texas, some of those places like Texas used to belong to Mexico. So Texas, California, Arizona, a lot of those places used to belong to Mexico. So now they're finding these heads all in the United States too. Also, we're going to talk more about those pyramids. Pyramids just pop up all over the United States, y'all. They always talk about the one in Egypt, but they never tell y'all about the pyramids here. So that's all I want to talk to y'all about. Let y'all know. Y'all look up the Olmec civilization, or just go back and review some of my videos, right? Okay, that's all I want to say about the Olmecs. I just want to give y'all a brief history of those areas. They were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 main cities all across the coast, Central to North America, that they lived. They traded. They were businessmen. They were in architect. They were in everything. They were civilized people. And they were even, they had technology while the European was in the Caucasus Mountain. Now, someone asked me, does Caucasus Mountain and Caucasian mean the same thing? That's where they derived their name from, because they came out of those mountains. Those mountains was called Caucasus. I believe it's somewhere in Germany, y'all. Don't quote me on it. I got to look up that further, but I believe they were up there in the Caucasus Mountain in Germany. And so, yeah, that's where they get their name, Caucasian, from, okay? So we already had modern technology while they were already up there in the mountains. So let's go on and get into love and marriage, Huntsville. Now, I'm going to turn this on. I want y'all to listen first, and then I'm going to do my commentary. I don't want to do no copyright. So, oh, Lord, y'all, what I do with the remote? Lord have mercy. I got to find the remote. Where the remote at? Oh, I got it, y'all. It dropped on the floor. So I'm going to play this commentary. This is Love and Marriage Huntsville. You got to listen, okay? And then we're going to do this. This is at the wine event, y'all, in Atlanta. Listen very carefully.
Worldwide, safely delivering reliable, affordable electricity to local homes and businesses is at the heart of everything we do.
Everybody's here because you had an idea. Yeah. It's truly your moment, man. Yeah. Celebrate you, bro. I appreciate that. I know. So it's time.
Listen, y'all.
This is the moment I've been waiting for. Something I've been working on for over a year. I got family here, friends here, supporters are here. It's time to watch I Just Want. So it's sweet. It's like a sweet and a drop. You need distributors here? Oh, no, that's it. That's what we're working on right now.
Okay. Now let me explain to y'all what's going on. Martel coming down and step with that fur, y'all. Y'all know he got that white jacket on, that fur. He coming down. Everybody in the audience, they cheering him up. He coming down the stairs. And then he gonna bypass Chris. Chris gonna say, hey, did you get that distributor license yet? Oh, no, he said, did you get a distributor yet? He talking about, no. And then, he tried to brush him off. Martel, you don't want to get too deep. Yeah, that was a little bit too deep for him, but Martel probably ain't been looking for no distributors. But, Chris is a broker. Chris is on it. He said, yeah. Did you get the distributor yet? No, no. All righty, y'all. He said, what's up, y'all, tonight? Yeah, what's up tonight? This is Montel. He's standing up. I'm a little bit tipsy. Yeah, he got the cup up. I'm a little bit tipsy. And my wine is 13.5. Yes, 13.5 is my wine. But I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight. Yeah, I want y'all guys to suffer. Yeah, y'all put me on the spot. Now he forgot where he was at. He started, on stage, all right, talking about somehow the wine got him tipsy. And then he looked around at the audience and said, y'all put me on the spot. Then he gonna say, y'all know my favorite thing. He gonna say, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Big Lou, y'all come on up here. My soul, Maurice, Chris, y'all come on up here. Come on. He calling his homeboys up the stage. I guess Montel felt like, he needed some help because he not used to being up there speaking on his own. He used to everybody, his ex-wife speaking for him. But anyway, yeah, Big Lou, come on up here. You too, Chris. Come on, Chris. My soul. All y'all, Maurice, y'all homeboys, come on up here on this stage, y'all. Now, he done called all his homeboys on the stage except for who, y'all? Who? The one that matters. The one that matters is his uncle. That was his mother. That's who he could have called up stage. If he would have played his cards right, he could have called that man on stage, and the man could have talked about his mama. That would have been the best commercial he could have had for his Inez wine. But no, Martel, they y'all put me on the spot now. Yeah. So now he got to get his speech. Meanwhile, they flashing it all on Uncle Sam. Now, Uncle Sam's face not looking too good out there in that audience because Uncle Sam realized that he done called everybody on the stage except for him. They had nothing to do with Inez wine. Yeah, come on, Big Lou, Chris, Maurice, yeah, come on up on the stage. And then, Uncle Sam, like, when is he gonna call me? Dog, you're gonna call everybody except for me. Now, I don't know what's going on in this man's mind, but that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, Big Lou, all of them came on up there. So here you go. So hell, y'all. Yeah, here you go, his speech. So hell, y'all know y'all put me on the spot again. You can do it, dog. You can do it, dog. Go ahead on. You can do it, dog. Oh, that's what his homeboy's saying. Y'all know that. Hell, so I named this wine after my grandma, Inez. And it's 13.5. I'm a little tipsy though, but yeah, like I said, it's 13.5. And did I tell y'all? I named this wine after my grandma, Ness. Then, yeah, dog, you can do it. Dog, you can do it, dog. Go ahead on, dog. Meanwhile, Melvina, what's her name? Mel Nicholson over there. She got this red dress on, got her face all makeup, and I heard through the grapevine that she wanted him. So, she already done boost him up. He loved that. He just was so high. He's so high. Oh, he was so high on his superiority because that woman boosted him up good. So now he got to speak. Yeah. So we drink enough of other people's shit. Yeah. We drink enough of other people's shit. We eat enough of other people's shit. Yeah, and we drive enough of other people's shit. And did I say it was 13.5? Yeah. Like I said, y'all put me on the spot. So, yeah, now Uncle is mad. Uncle is mad. You done got up there. You done act the fool, which you didn't talk about. Only thing you said about the wine about Inez is that it was 13.5. Then you don't call Big Lou, Maurice, everybody up to the stage except for the one that matters, and that's Uncle Sam. Yeah. So tonight, y'all, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go and we're gonna do our next wine good tonight. But y'all finish listening at this, okay?
Hey, I'm Marcel, by the way.
Oh, did y'all hear that? Y'all saw Marceau? Y'all go back and look at that trailer. Marceau saw this cute little young girl. He waved. I mean, he was like the hawk trying to get through that crowd, through that look to that young lady. Now, y'all listen to what he's telling me. I'm Marceau, by the way. Let me go back.
Friends here, supporters are here. It's time to launch our next one.
Just listen, y'all.
So it's like a sweet and a drop. You need distributors yet? Oh, no, not yet. That's what we're working on right now. Hey, how are you? I'm Marcel, by the way. Thank you, sir. Oh, no. Oh, most definitely. I know. Like, how you doing?
Nice to see you again.
It's so time. Look at what you did. Look at where you at.
Y'all hear, don't y'all? Y'all hear, don't y'all? Y'all remember what Melody said about Melvina? She said that 2 weeks or a week before the wedding, she was their wedding planner. She called her and said that this man was messing around on her. And then so she bailed out of the wedding planning event. Oh wow, that must have been devastating. But I wonder if she was the Melvina is the lady that he was messing with. Anyway, this Melvina, she y'all know Mel.
Right? To a mansion to celebrate some wine, and they even know it.
Right. Normally I have my ring. I need to get my ring out of my pocket.
That's my soul. Got to get his ring out of his pocket, he said. Okay, y'all, where the music going, that's where he looking at that woman bosom. He looking down at that woman bosom. Y'all hear that music going? That woman got some big old bosom and she got the blonde hair. That man looking down at that woman bosom. That's why he got up there talking, I can't even remember. See, he couldn't remember now because all he was thinking about is that bosom. Okay, y'all, that's what he's looking at now.
What's up, people? Hey. I appreciate y'all for coming out tonight. But I tell I'm not a speaker or anything like that. I'm a little tipsy because this wine 13.5. But no, thank you guys for coming out to support Inez Wine. So listen, I got my guys up here, Marceau, Maurice, Big Lou. I guess you guys can come up to the front. Yeah, walk on over here, Big Lou. Oh, Chris Fred, come on over here too. So, I can't even get it out.
I can't even get it out. Can't get it out.
I've seen Martel like this before. I wonder if it's the wine, if it's the situation that
I can't even get it out.
Maybe it's because it's his first time not doing it with his ex-partner.
Ladies and gentlemen, Melody's Hope.
Ladies and gentlemen, Melody Hope.
I actually have a skincare product line that I'm launching this month. I'm very excited about that. I've been working on it for a while.
Okay, y'all. Okay, since they got Melody on, I want to say something about that. Y'all remember, it was Melody that was going to do a wine for her grandmother. That's where it came from. Then he took it. And then he said he did acknowledge her at first. He had coleslaw in the car doing his wine commercial. Y'all remember that? Y'all getting ready to see that again. I got to play that again. Had coleslaw in there doing that commercial. And he just used the melody. He used to everybody doing everything for him. Do y'all remember when he went in I forgot the guy's name, and the guy asked him had he took his real estate test. He talking about, no, I don't need no real estate. That's what you there for. But I'm just making that point where he used to everybody doing and he just latched on. So he used to, Melody doing everything for him. Let's proceed. Oh, yeah. And then this say, Renata say, instead of him acknowledging what his uncle was trying to say, he told his uncle not to embarrass him on national TV. Yes, the nerve of him! I think that's when the uncle want to turn into Muhammad Ali shit. That uncle don't look like he no joke. Y'all remember that? Martel, he was trying to uncle tried to stay as calm as possible. He would even leave uncle alone. Uncle went out the door. Here come egghead. Now look, I could tell Martel was kind of scared to approach him because Martel handled him very lightly, but he did whisper in his ear that don't embarrass him or he's being disrespectful. What he had to say that for Uncle turning to Muhammad Ali on his ass. He knew Uncle would have did a Muhammad Ali on his ass. He need to go sit his tail down somewhere because that uncle wasn't playing with him. Uncle be like, dog, you done messed up my mama's name. Dog, you can't do no better than that, dog. Oh, no, dog, you done messed up my mama's name. You can't say nothing to me. Well, that's what I'm saying. Let me go on and finish it on that.
In recognition of your unselfish time and service. So I named this wine after my grandmother. Each one of us are business owners. And I would say, for real, I think that we've worn enough people's, we've drank enough other people, we've eaten and we drive other people. Listen.
I can't let. We drink. Hello, everybody. We drink enough of everybody's shit. We drive enough of everybody's shit. We eat enough of everybody's shit. Now, y'all, what kind of speech is that? What kind of speech is that? Let me keep moving on to this man. No wonder he liked the coleslaw. He said that coleslaw made him feel smart, y'all. Listen to this man.
Collectively, a lot of us are bosses in here, and I feel that we got to continue to own it. So tonight really isn't about just honest wine. I think it's about us owning. So I'm just excited that I own. So toast to ownership.
All right, y'all. Gonna cut the lights on. We're gonna go to Inez Wine commercial. We gonna do Uncle Sam up, y'all. We're gonna do Uncle Sam good. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this Inez Wine. Y'all probably seen it before. But I had to come in and bail coleslaw out. So coleslaw don't never say I ain't never did nothing for you. Y'all need to quit being under there talking about I don't like coleslaw because I bailed her out. That's what I did out of this wine commercial. Okay, y'all, I'm finna turn the lights on. All right, I got it all set up. We're gonna have this wine commercial. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all be looking at the dancers while I'm turning the lights on. You can do it. You can help off the owner subscribe. But anyhow, we're gonna go back to our grave. But don't forget us. This is your Aunt Linda who died on the Titanic. Man, they gave us no lifeline. But we died on the Titanic. Come on now. Hit, like, and subscribe. Oops. Woo!
That's always on the Instagram. Everybody all up in your business. I know. That is awful. That is so disrespectful. You know.
I totally agree.
Putting your business all like that. But you ain't got no business because everybody knows you.
Yeah. Right.
And you know, to me, it's very embarrassing You know, that's light on.
After a long day of activism and working in the community, I put my superhero cape down. Tired of this. And that girl you got representing my mama, I'm not happy. What's up with the Instagram, son? Son, I'm not having it. She cannot represent my mother.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to sleep on. It's perfectly not to sleep. It's not to sleep on.
Martel, airy, or coleslaw is really making you look bad, I hear. Your mother is right. She is attacking the elderly, calling them old hags, and then you got the nerve to have her as the face of your Inez. Why your mother is right. Now what I've got for you is a local person. She's an activist and she's an elderly lady. Her name is Oma, Arthur Oma, or Black Titanic. Let's see, let's try her for a while. That would bring back your some self-respect in the community because your girlfriend has been disrespecting the elderly, and you know that's not tolerated in the Black community. So I'm going to rebrand you by hiring an elderly activist, Miss Oma, or Black Titanic. An S wine is designed to complete the palate. Morning, and that's me right there, y'all. You can have it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. But that's why I put on my super cape and I go out in the community. I goes out in the community daily, fighting police brutality, man. Just fighting for the rights of our people. But at the ending of the day, I have to have a nice cold drink of wine. In S. After a long day of activism and working in the community, I put my superhero cape down and I settled down with an S.
Reese, let's go, Reese. What up, though? Big Lou, also. Yo, what up, though? Big Lou! We're out here in Atlanta. We're chilling, having a good time celebrating my wine launch, Inez. So, you know, we eating a little breakfast. Chef Danielle, where you at? If y'all recall Christmas, right? When you did the seafood table. Yeah, so she followed us to Atlanta, and she's killing it for Inez wine, dinner, breakfast, lunch, everything. So I know you guys haven't seen it in about 40 days. So about a week or two, I'll explain to y'all what's been going on when everything goes in Martel's favor.
And there you have it. Morning, noon, and night. Inez, for your taste. In S wine. After a long day of activism, I like to settle down with a glass of an S wine by Martel. I'm rewinding this. This was last year, and I'm rewinding this to let you young people know that the elderly are still out here fighting for you guys' freedom. That's me now. So bad. y'all saw me. That's me with my grandson out there.
Wine, something S. Wine by Martel. I'm just rewinding this was last year, and I'm rewinding this to let you young people know that the elderly are still out here fighting for you guys' freedom.
That's me right there, y'all. Yeah, just out doing activist work, trying to bring attention to police brutality, police killing. What's a lot of killing going on? So that's what we're there for. That's me.
So, in S wine, after a long day of act.
What? You gotta try that wine. Mm-hmm. Perfect blend. Perfect blend.
Not too sweet, it's not too dry.
Not too sweet, not too dry. Right there in the middle. I told y'all.
Telling me, son, I love you and I'm proud of you, but get her ass off of my mama wine. I mean it, son. Get her ass off. Yes, mom. Love you, son. I love you.
Okay,
I love you more than anything in this world, and you're a good man, and I'm proud of you, son. But this social media thing has got you looking back. Get rid of that girl. Get rid of her right now, son. Get her off her. Get her off of my grandmama Inez wife.
okay, that's the end of it. So, I just want to give tribute to Miss Inez. But anyway, we're moving on along. This is going to be a little sad, y'all. Y'all know in this country, we have so many black kids missing, coming up missing daily, but they don't put it on the on the news. They don't. So many of our black kids is missing. So this next video, what you're about to see, they closed the school down in 2011. It's called Dozier School for Boys. Now, what they were doing, picking up little black kids, I think the school was open up since the 40s. They'll pick little black kids up as early as 6 years old. Anything. Maybe they didn't come to school that day. Maybe they seen them outside playing. But they picked them up and made them do slave labor. Now, inside this school, they ranges from 6 to about 17. They had white kids, yeah, but I'm focusing on the black kids. The majority of them was black. In this school, they raped, tortured, and killed these black children, y'all. And they just closed the school down in 2011. Some children, they found out, they fed them to the hogs. How they know that? They were some of the other children that survivors, they grown old men now, older than me. They were saying that they saw them feeding some of their classmates to the hog. Now, speed on up to today, they have archaeologists have dug up them graves. Over 100 black boys they have found in them graves, and they still looking for black boys. But get to the hogs, they went in a hog pen, okay, and they had to dig up underground. They found a whole lot of bones of black boys where the hogs had them spit them out. This is Dozier School for Boys. Now, if y'all think y'all walking down the road, y'all pay attention to our children. Y'all see anything suspicious, y'all get on it.
I'm trying, Mama,
Okay.
but she does. I'm trying, Mom. Okay, Mom, I'm trying. I know, son. Love you, son. Love you. Proud of you too, son. Inez.
Okay, I'm going to Dozier School for boys. All right, which one? I'm gonna do this one first, right? This one is when they looking for the bones of these
Clearly
boys.
feeling squeezed by the rising costs.
Senator Raphael Warnock helped fuel the inflation squeeze, voting for.
Now at noon, a disturbing update from USF researchers. They tell us they have found more remains than expected at the now closed Dozier School for Boys in Florida's Panhandle. Our Carson Chambers is live at USF. She joins us now with the details. Good afternoon, Carson.
Good afternoon. Many of these unmarked graves where the children's remains were discovered also came along with artifacts, which USF shared with us today, and we'd like to share with you respectfully this afternoon. What you're looking at here on this table are actually casket nails that they have recovered in some of these unmarked graves. And then over to the right here, this is actually a stone marble. We are told it was found in the pocket of a very young boy. And then over to the right, this is a casket plaque. It reads "At Rest." But many of the families who are searching for their missing children do not believe that they are at rest. And of course, they are trying to repatriate those remains and bring them home to their family plots. Now, USF scientists excavated 55 people. That is 24 more than the official records show and 5 more than they expected to find. They have been.
Okay, since then, they have found over 100 dead black boys.
Working at the site since 2012 at the now defunct Dozier School for Boys, using ground penetrating radar, heavy equipment, hand tools, dental picks. All of these help them carefully excavate children's remains in an effort to.
I'm sorry, y'all. This is in Marianna, Florida, Dozier School for Boys. They closed it down in 2011. Right under our nose, they use these kids as slaves.
ID them.
I can say that in the area where the white metal crosses had been placed, we found 13 burials. The remaining graves were spread throughout the surrounding woods, under a roadway, and under large trees.
If I don't get my brother, maybe somebody will get theirs, so that's the way it all goes, and we just have to keep hoping and plugging along with it.
Now, USF also released a list of children's names, which we have right behind us. They actually give a year of death and a last known address. We have posted this list on our website. They are asking for the public's help. If you know any of these children or if you know relatives, they're trying to find them to help them with the DNA. We're live in Tampa. I'm Carson Chambers, ABC Action News.
Did y'all see that? All them kids up there, them black kids. They might have under 10 white kids, but 99% of them are black. Yeah, that's a shame. This is the one I'm looking for now. This one right here, the uncle he never knew the little boy, but he was named after the boy. Okay, so they use him for a DNA test to identify a little boy, because the little boy bones, they found the bones somewhere. Anyway, here go the story, y'all. It say Tampa man's uncle identified from Dozier School of Boys grave. Okay, so they must have dug this little boy grave up and found a relative to do his DNA with.
New tonight, a Tampa family is thanking the University of South Florida for helping them bring a missing family member home. 15-year-old Robert Stevens died nearly 80 years ago at the Dozier School for Boys. ABC Action News reporter Carson Chambers explains how his family can now properly lay him to rest.
I think if you gave me 5 pictures, I probably couldn't pick them out.
Robert Stevens will never meet his uncle. He's never even seen a photo.
I didn't know I was named after him.
But he will properly bury him.
I'm elated in the fact that, I get to bring my uncle home.
15-year-old Robert Stevens died at the Dozier School for Boys in 1937, 10 months into his 2-year sentence. His family never really knew what happened to his body, and they didn't talk about him, perhaps because it was too painful.
The school ledger states that Robert was stabbed to death by another inmate named Leroy Taylor.
Now, USF scientists say they've ID'd the boys' remains among 51 excavated from the Reform School.
Y'all know that school land, them children weren't even allowed to have no kind of knives or nothing. It was like they was in prison. They killed them children.
Boot Hill, many from unmarked graves.
Sometimes persistence pays off.
Persistence measured by 24 months of waiting for DNA to come back to take Stephen's name off the list of the unidentified Dozier boys. A long list helping shut down the state-run Reform School in 2011 amidst allegations of severe physical and sexual abuse.
I learned that from the outside when the kids first came in, it looked real nice. Got kids playing basketball. But once night fell, it was a whole different story. Beatings, starvation.
His uncle's body showed signs of malnutrition that scientists say will never truly know how he died.
Somebody should be held accountable, I believe.
Robert's uncle was a stranger to him for decades. Only in death is he now truly.
How did they let, and y'all know some of them school teachers still alive. They not trying to name one of them old white devils with nothing. That pissed me off. All those dead children, ranging from 6 to 17 dead black boys. Over 100 of them, y'all.
Family. In Tampa, I'm Carson Chambers, ABC Action News.
Okay, next, we've been moving on along. Do y'all remember Rodney King and the L.A. riots? Now, when Rodney King and the L.A. riots came, that was the first time we saw a black man being videotaped and beat. You know, the camera was coming on the scene then. Here we go. Remembering Rodney King, y'all, the LA riots. And he's our ancestor now. So we're going to remember Rodney King for this June 10th anniversary. Remembering Rodney King. There you go. To all just get along, he say. But y'all know his death was suspicious to me. He died in the swimming pool, but he ended up going with one of them ladies. She was the only black lady on the jury. They ended up going together, you know. But I would wonder why did he want that woman when the woman voted to convict him? Ain't nowhere in the hell I would have went with that woman. But they were together like 11 or 12 years. Here you go. Remember Rodney King. This when the videos first came on the scene. Now look, in the black community, we have always complained about police brutality. And because there was no videos, the media would say there was no such thing. No such thing as police brutality. No such thing as racism. But you know, they can't deny it now since all the cameras be on the scene. Remembering Rodney King.
Lunch costs freshmen 6 times more than it did in my day, and I'm not that old.
Raphael Warnock announced nearly $85 million for Georgia's historically black colleges and universities.
Because student debt shouldn't stand between Georgians and their dreams.
The time to actually get to know each other so that we can move forward as a nation, so we can be an example.
That's his daughter, y'all. Rodney King's daughter.
That's Rodney King's daughter, Laura, supervising a meal giveaway in Watts' Imperial Gardens housing project. An example of the good work she's committed to as part of the foundation she started to honor her late father.
I think his legacy is just what I'm doing today, giving from a place of pain. It's not it's a helpful thing. It's not going to save the world, but it gives a little hope.
She was a little girl 30 years ago when King was beaten by LAPD officers after a traffic stop. It happened to be captured on home video from a nearby apartment, one of the first ever so-called caught on tape moments. The acquittal of the 4 LAPD officers a year later led to riots, destruction, death, and pledges of reform, which community activist Sister Soldier said did happen eventually.
If it's an issue with LAPD or any officers, we can step up and we can voice our opinion and they make the moves.
But there are, of course, still troubling incidents. For example, George Floyd, killed by Minneapolis police last May at least one officer will face a murder charge.
Is this an ongoing situation? So George Floyd was like a Rodney King to my era. You know what I mean? So like when we seen like the George Floyd.
Y'all hear that? Ain't nothing changed. Now, he said George Floyd is like a Rodney King in today's era. Things have not changed, y'all.
Like rekindle that moment for Rodney King's situation 30 years ago.
I just want to say, you know, can we all get along?
That was after the riot started. That's when Rodney King asked that simple and now famous question, still quite relevant today.
I want to be hopeful and say that there is change. However, we're still having this conversation. I'm still proposing the question, can we get along? And here we are still here asking the same question.
And of course, the answer to that question very much depends on your perspective, your life experience. You remember Rodney King died in a drowning accident at the age of 47. 2 of those LAPD officers did serve federal prison time in a subsequent trial. Alex, Marlo?
Phil, when we think about this is something that you covered.
Okay, we're moving on along. Y'all remember that? Rodney King, y'all see how that's that Dred Scott decision, y'all. Y'all saw Rodney, them cops beat that man to death, almost to death. It's just that, I don't know how Rodney King survived. I guess he was in good shape. I'm looking at his body. He seemed like he took good care of his body. He was in good shape. The way they beated that man, somebody else would have died. When we're looking at the Dred Scott decision, I keep telling y'all that. That's Dred Scott is the one that took his his master to court, y'all. He took his master to court, and then you know, the judge saying that anytime a black man come through here or a black woman, you will never get the same type of treatment nor respect as a white man. And that was in the 1800s. And that's still on the books today. Them white men were worried about being on no tape. They knew they had that Dred Scott decision covering them. Yeah. Then one of them, they claim that one of them went to prison. I don't know, but that's what they say, but I don't remember that. Okay, here we go. We doing reparation. This is listening skills. Tariq Nasheed now. I told y'all that I'm learning reparation with y'all. Here we go, Tariq Nasheed. And this is Twitter Spaces, and people just call in. You know, most of these people, especially other nations of people, they don't want us to get it. So Tariq has to be up there fussing with these people. He in Twitter Space trying to talk to his people about reparation, and here come all these trolls or whatever y'all call them, coming to argue with him as to why black people don't deserve reparation. Tariq Nasheed, this require y'all listening skills now.
A family means taking care of each other. And that's exactly what we did last year.
Shout out to Sage, COB, Sir Major, I see you, player. Afro Elite, I see you. Shout out to all the people in the room. Let me wait till we get around.
I'm just speeding it up to where he get to the meat.
A couple of weeks, that's what I have my eye on, all right? And let's be very clear. Remember, family, when it comes to compensation for foundational Black Americans, it has to be cash payments first. I hear a lot of people who are brought in by the Democrats and other shills who say, well, reparations shouldn't only be a check. All of that talk, look, it should be a check first. All right, let's get the checks going first, and then we'll talk about what else can constitute reparations, but definitely a check.
Oh, I don't own any rights to any song that come on. This is for educational and entertainment purposes and fair use only. Y'all check Tariq Nasheed out, please, when it comes to reparation.
All right, let's be very clear. It has to be a check, and other things included, that's fine. But we're not going to do some type of compensation and spite of a check or as opposed to getting a check. No, everything that they recommend comes with a check. Okay? Got to get the check first. The check is first. Let's tally up how many Black FBA Californians are going to get a check from the state and the federal government or whoever we need to get it from. Let's tally that up. Find out what the dollar amount is and start sending them out. I'm going to be right at my mailbox waiting.
Okay, looks like, we have to begin locally, challenging our local politician on reparation now. I think they've been doing an excellent job in California. That's where Tariq is at. So that's what he's talking about.
Has to be a check first. Family, don't let them start talking about education vouchers, business loans, and all of that stuff. It's going to have to be a check first. Check first, check first, check first. Then we can get into housing or land grants, all of that stuff, but check first. None of these intangible things. Let's not let them do anything intangible, anything where they say, well, education. Education is not tangible, all right? That's not going to cut it. Education is actually relative. Education is relative. What type of education are you going to get? Is that education going to transform into a tangible resource? Education is intangible. That's why they like to push that as some form of compensation. Education ain't good enough because education is relative. And also, you can get education without going to school. Life is education. Just living and experiencing life is education. I got my greatest education on the damn streets. I don't recommend that for everybody else. I've learned more on the streets than I learned in the school. So you can get education anywhere. Life is an education process. You learn from just living life. So we're not going to go for these intangibles. It has to be something tangible. And we have to keep our foot down on that. But going back, they're talking about right now, a lot of people are, their antennas are up because of the requirements. The reparations thing is real now. And we've designated that the requirements will be the people who are eligible are foundational Black Americans, Black people who descended from slaves, Black people who descended from freemen, Black people who can trace their lineage back before the 1900s. Great criteria, all right? That has a lot of people shook because now it's getting real. That right there was very important to designate who gets it. That was a very important step, family. I want the family to know how important that step was. Shout out to my sister Lioness. I see you, sister. I want the family to understand how important that step was. That was important because the dominant society in their 40s, they've already had a plan to try to get us to include everybody. They thought that we were going to do the kumbaya, and they knew we could get these Negroes on reparations. Let's just have them do this whole thing where everybody's eligible, and then we'll just cash everybody else out instead of them, and we'll still be in the same position. That was their plan. They thought we were going to kumbaya this thing, and they thought that they were going to use tethers to help do it, and we didn't go for that. They kept trying to shame us into saying, hey, if you, all Black people get mistreated, all Black people got to deal with racism. If you leave Black folks out who are non-FBA, that's divisive. You don't want to be divisive. That's like white folks. They start talking all that dumbass talk. That didn't bother us. We didn't bend. We're not trying to get reparations for racism. We're getting reparations for slavery that was done to a specific group. Don't ever let people change that topic. They'll try to conflate slavery with just general racism that everybody goes through. And we are not going for that. We're talking about compensation for a very specific deed that was done to a very specific group, which were foundational Black Americans. Nobody else were treated, and they were put in the same circumstantial predicament that we were put in. We were put in a unique situation, and we as a unique group will be compensated in a unique way, and everybody else is not included. They have been so used to us not being on that, this is sending shockwaves to people.
Clearly feeling squeezed by the rising costs, Senator Raphael Warnock helped fuel the inflation squeeze, voting for trillions in reckless spending. Now he supports a liberal plan to spend trillions more. Tell him to stop the reckless spending, to stop inflation.
Always knew you even when on that, this is sending shockwaves to people. People don't know how to react. So now that this thing is real, and we've been stomping hard out here in California, and everybody knows when something gets started in California, this is usually the template of what's going to happen around the nation. So all eyes are on us out here in California right now. Us on the grassroots, us keeping our eye on those reparations committees and commissions out here, and us speaking on those things, you better believe that made an impact. So now people are watching very heavy. They put out that page, that booklet the other day talking about the requirements and why it's important, and the wave and the movement is getting even stronger. But now we have to watch out for these groups who are trying to undermine reparations, the N-Cobras and all these other people who are sent by the Democrats and other groups. These groups are popping up, and I put this up on my Twitter the other day.
Okay, y'all, that's the reading the sheet. You guys make sure y'all finish that, okay? Next, we going to TD Hip Hop. I'm just gonna show y'all something. Yesterday, I showed y'all where Biden is giving people reparations. So we're gonna have to make noise, y'all. They're giving everybody reparation except for us. Let's see what Biden doing. All right, Joe Biden signs executive order to protect LGBT. Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders secure $72 million for the Holocaust. Now, don't tell us that they can't give us reparation. $72 million for the Holocaust survivor, and it didn't even happen here. We had our own Holocaust here. What you think slavery was? What you think that they did in Tulsa? What you think they did when they was in the concentration camp? We had our own Holocaust here, but they ignoring us. 90% of y'all voted for this man. Now this man giving y'all his A to kiss. I call him Jim Crow Biden because I remember him. He's a segregationist, y'all. This man is a racist. This is Tip TD Hip Hop Media. Y'all make sure y'all go
In last week's video titled Kamala Harris announces $1.9 billion migration fund for Central America and $0 for the Black community, I briefly alluded to how Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the Democrats at large can do whatever they want to do if they really want to do it. And what I want to do today is continue building on that point by highlighting how Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, and the Democrats at large were able to secure a total of $72 million in reparations payments for Holocaust survivors. Now, as I detailed in my video titled Joe Biden Dismisses Reparations Again, so why are Black Americans voting for him? Joe Biden has always been vehemently opposed to paying out reparations to the descendants of American slavery. And what I want to do right now is play a clip from that video where I read Biden's direct quote on reparations from an interview he did back in 1975. In 1975, when Joe Biden was asked about reparations, he replied this: "I don't feel responsible for the sins of my father and grandfather. I feel responsible for what the situation is today, for the sins of my own generation. And I will be damned if I feel responsible to pay for what happened 300 years ago." Now, despite the fact that the sins of his generation is Jim Crow, to which the survivors are still very much alive today and are owed reparations, I find it very interesting that Biden would be damned if he felt responsible for paying for the sins of his grandfather and father, yet had no problems paying for the sins of another country. Now, I've often referenced this article on how the US government secured reparations for Holocaust survivors, but I never actually read the article to you. So let's give it a quick read so we can see how this $12 million in reparations payments came to be. Obama administration earmarks $12 million for Holocaust survivors. Funds to be distributed over 5 years. 1/4 of 130,000 US victims of Nazi persecution live under poverty line. The Obama administration has awarded $12 million for assistance to Holocaust survivors.
I gotta say something about Obama. Listen, the United Nations wanted him to come talk about reparation for Black people. He refused. He wouldn't even go. He wouldn't even go sit at the table to even see what they were talking about. They wanted to give us reparation when he was in office. Obama said no, y'all.
From the Department of Health and Human Services to the Jewish Federation of North America to be distributed over 5 years as part of an initiative launched in late 2013 by Vice President Joe Biden to address the needs of survivors in the United States, 1/4 of whom live below the poverty line. Well, look at good old Joe, securing reparations exclusively for Holocaust survivors, not people of color, minorities, and marginalized groups, but exclusively for Holocaust survivors. If Biden was able to do this as vice president under Barack Obama, then there is literally no excuse for why he can't secure reparations for the survivors of Jim Crow. No excuse at all whatsoever. When speaking about Jim Crow, those are the sins of Joe Biden's generation, to which reparations is owed. Now let's continue reading. Combined with matching private funds, the approximately $2.5 million per year over 5 years will support $4.1 million in programming annually for organizations that help Holocaust survivors, the JFNA said. Now, that last sentence is important because this is how the US government is consistently able to bypass the entire legislative process. Just like the $1.9 billion that Kamala Harris secured for Central American countries in order for them to, and I quote, provide hope for people in the region to build safe and prosperous lives at home. This is also what you see here in the sentence where it reads, combined with matching private funds. I want you to pay attention to this pattern of how they use private funding to bypass legislation. You see, because it's private funding, it can be used however they see fit. And there's nothing the courts can do about it as far as locking the money up in litigation is concerned, as you sue the government on grounds of being unconstitutional, because the money technically did not come from the government. They're just working alongside the private sector and or private donors to help facilitate the distribution of these funds. But technically, the funding is not from the US government itself. Understand, if the government really wants to do something, then by hook or by crook, they will find a way to get it done. So when it comes to something as simple as the Black grassroots demanding an anti-Black hate crime bill in the wake of the anti-Black racist Buffalo shooting, the Democrats ignoring your cries for that is their way of saying, F you, you're not getting anything because we don't respect you nor you're deceased. Now let's finish out the rest of this article, then we'll move on to Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. After Biden launched the initiative in 2013, the White House in 2014 named a special envoy to the community to coordinate volunteer activities to assist the survivors. Some 130,000 Holocaust survivors are living in the United States today, according to the US government estimates. Really let this sit on your mind for a moment. Joe Biden single-handedly delivered reparations to Holocaust survivors while the remaining 3 survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre are fighting it out in court for theirs at 103 years old. How sick is that? How wicked is that? These elders are in their hundreds, not their 80s or their 90s. They're in their hundreds and they have to be wheelchaired into court to fight for their reparations, while Biden handed Holocaust survivors reparations for an injustice that occurred in another country across the ocean. You know, I know.
Y'all, that he's a segregationist. He was hell back in the day when I was growing up on black people. That man was hell. That man hate black folks. Y'all listening in? That man hate black people.
Normally don't say this in the middle of a video, but please, please, please share this with your family and friends who ran to the polls to vote for Biden and highlight this one particular point that I just made regarding the Tulsa race massacre survivors. And if this one point alone doesn't open their eyes to Biden and the Democrats, then honestly, nothing will at this point. Now let's jump straight into the next article titled, Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton both supported reparations, just not for American slavery. Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders caused a stir when he told Fusion that he does not support reparations for slavery on the grounds that such a program would be very divisive and would never pass Congress. Ta-Nehisi Coates, a National Book Award winner and writer for The Atlantic, who wrote a widely read article in 2014 making the case for reparations, was among those who took Sanders to task. Now, here's the important part. 4 years ago, though, Sanders did support a form of reparations, not for the descendants of African slaves and victims of injustice against African Americans, but for Holocaust survivors and the families of those who were killed. Now, mind you, Bernie Sanders, like Joe Biden, is also vehemently against reparations for the descendants of American slavery.
Okay,
when Sanders was running for president in 2019, this man would get visibly upset when you asked him about reparations. And every time he was asked about it, he would always respond by saying, "What do you mean by that?" How many of you all remember that? Literally every time he was asked about reparations, in an extremely condescending tone, he would ask the interviewer, "Well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?"
Your position specifically on reparations. I asked the question because Elizabeth Warren, Julian Castro, they've indicated they want
What does
this.
that mean? What do they mean? I'm not sure that anyone's very clear. What I've just said is that I think we must do everything that we can to address the massive level of disparity that exists in this country.
I'll tell you what they mean, because Elizabeth Warren has said black families have had a much steeper hill to climb. We need systematic structural changes to address that. Julian Castro has said, I have long thought that this country would be better off if we did find a way to do that, reparations.
Well, I agree with what Elizabeth said.
So you would support reparations?
But read what she said. What does that mean? She means, I think, I don't want to put words into her mouth, is what I said.
Why not support reparations then?
Okay, y'all see that? Y'all see these devils that we put in office. Now all these are Democrats, y'all. Y'all look at that. We just vote Democrat all the way down, y'all. We just keep voting these same old devils back in office and we're not getting anywhere. Anyway, y'all, I'm getting ready to close it down. And, I thank y'all so much. And again, this was for educational, entertainment purposes, and fair use. So you guys have a great day. Now, I can only lead y'all to the water. Y'all got to drink that water by going and visit all these little things like TD Hip Hop Media. That's a little young boy in politics. He already did his research. He already well read. Y'all want to do some politics? Go to TD Hip Hop Media. Of course, I'm learning about this reparation with y'all. That's why I go to Tariq Nasheed. And the reason I like Tariq Nasheed reparation, because that's the same thing Malcolm X was saying back in the day when I was growing up. What Tariq Nasheed is talking about, because Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, they bumped heads right there again too, because let me tell y'all, behind the scenery, they were fussing about that we needed reparation. King was supposed to have went in that White House and asked for reparation for us. Instead, he bailed out and just asked for what? The right to sit next door to him. The right to sit in the same restaurant with them. I don't know why they want to patronize them restaurants, because everybody know that black people can cook now. Oh, well, the best collard greens you want to taste come from black folks cooking, yeah. So anyway, we got the right to do everything with them except for money. And, so this been around a long time with Tariq Nasheed saying, but I'm glad he have brought it back to the forefront. We need our reparations. Good night, everybody, and thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for the cash app. And remember, if you want a book, please specify. If you're just donating, thank you too also. Bye, y'all.